Segregation in schools today. Brief explanation of the main issue. Schools in the United States of America are largely separated racially and remain unequally conformed in this day and age. Close to nothing is being done about it since the eye of the problem does not lie in the law. Background history of the issue. In 1954, the law deemed separate but equal, segregated schools unconstitutional. This is thanks to the Supreme Court case Brown v. Board of Education, which banned racially segregated public schools for children. Sadly, integration following suit has not been the most progressive. In the 1970s, the divide between colored and white children in the school system became wider. Brown v. was designed as a two-race system, but the Latino and Asian community became inherently larger. More immigrants, mainly Latino, come in and income inequality increased. Social classmates seemed more evident and whites seemed to become the minority in cities. They began seeking homes and schools away from predominantly non-white populations in response. Details on the main issue. Today, American schools are the most segregated they have been in 50 years. School districts are often separated by race and income, more than half of which, 3/4 or more of the students, are either white or colored. Black students in New York reside in no-funding minority schools that are filled up more than 65% with other black students. These schools are also amongst the lowest income. White and Latino are the most segregated groups. Studies show that Latinos attend schools that are 55% Latino, while whites attend schools that are 69% white. Segregation is also rising amongst black students as they make up 15% of enrollment and reside mainly in schools that are 40% black. Who is involved? This matter involves students, parents, and the government of America. How is it being handled? The worst part is that this situation is not being handled on the scale as large as it should be. After Board v. Education passed, the government did not pay as much mind to the dilemma since they already put laws in place. Parents enroll or try to enroll their children into better schools, but when you try to enroll into a school outside of your jurisdiction, the waitlist and paperwork are both lengthy and complicated. John King Jr., the Secretary of Education, is an Afro-Latino New Yorker who wants to make this process easier. School choice is the system he made to help children of color be able to go to better schools across town and to give white children the chance to go to a more multicultural school. This system relies on parents who must choose to enroll their children, making the project harder than it sounds. Solutions. Who is powerful enough to make a change? Parents and the government have the means to make a change. Parents can choose to send their children to more integrated schools. The government can give more funding to minority schools and make it easier for children to be enrolled in a variety of schools. Who is powerless? I do not think that anyone is powerless because where there is a will, there is a way. The parents can send their kids to different schools, and the students can work hard to get into one of the more refined schools. Nevertheless, it can be extremely hard for these people because the system is against them. Some possible solutions. The first step is to spread awareness. Make this topic a household subject. Segregation is alive and well today. School staff, students, and parents alike needed to be informed of the cons and ask questions to the system and themselves. The government needs to put in place more programs devoted to integrating schools. Their enforcement is key because if it is left to the parents, the battle will be that with a brick wall.